boy, it's hot here in Alabama, y'all. It's your boy Maniac. I came in here to check on my ugly turkeys. Right now they're in like a dirty, muddy stage because it came a bad rain the other night. But I got this female sitting in here, as you can see. Sitting right there. Here, I'll show her to you. There she is. And she's sitting on a nest. I try not to bother them, but I thought we had all the eggs and something just don't seem right. So we're going to see. Oh, look at that. Look at all the eggs. I'm not going to mess with you, baby. There you go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I'm counting 18 eggs, y'all. So everyone that tells you turkeys lay eggs first time in the spring and that's it, that's totally untrue, y'all. Our turkeys start laying eggs around March, April. Sometimes they have waited to May, but about March, April, they'll start laying. Here we are almost into September. It's middle of the month, August, you know, and they normally keep producing, and I'm going to add to them. I actually have 2 more turkeys right here to add, 1 chocolate. I'm going to separate that chocolate with that gobbler. I have a hen and a gobbler in there, and one's a bourbon red, one's a chocolate. And I would prefer to keep as many chocolates as I can get because I like chocolates. I think they look cool. I would like to start breeding them. I don't have a chocolate male, but hopefully I find one day. But I did hear that you can breed bourbons with chocolates and you'll still end up with chocolates. So that'll work as well. And we'll just keep switching them. Tomahawk with the new little gobbler here, and then take the babies off of Tomahawk and breed with the new gobbler that's inside there with him. But the bush hogging is still on hold, y'all. Look at this, unreal. It grows up fast when you buy a swamp, but I will eventually have the dirt levels built up with all this compost. See, every time you cut grass, y'all, your levels get higher and higher and higher. Now, it's not as much as if you was dumping dirt, but over years' time, this is pretty high. This may add, you know, a couple of inches or so of compost. You never know. But whenever we are able to add dirt, I don't know if we will now, because what I can figure out is as many seasons go by, we end up with more and more and less holes. How about that? More decomposition taking place, and the holes are less deep every year. So it may take a while, but using my own soil, my own grass, weeds, all that to keep filling in, and then moving animals here and there, it adds to it. So, I mean, I'm just going to let time take its work unless something big happens and I'm able to afford to bring a whole bunch of loads of dirt out here. But I need to get with my old buddy CJ so that we can add one more V-ditch right here. If we can add a V-ditch here and V-ditch that underground spring over here, it'll turn most of the water to where this place is going to dry out. These noisy geese. They think that I'm going to feed the ducks and not them, but that's not what I'm here to do. But they do run everything. I have learned that, but they're extremely noisy. But y'all, you may say guineas are loud, but I think these geese are loud. And look here, y'all, I got to do some bush hogging. The ducks are being overrun, but they're not complaining because guess what? All those weeds right here brings in more bugs, more grasshoppers. I try and tell people on older videos, I used to cut it and keep it cut, but they like the shade. And see, we're in a big field, so they have no shade. So I let some weeds grow in and some I take out. But this is overkill, I will say that, but I've been at work. But I will not patches and holes in this. But y'all, if I walk in here, there'll be 40 times more grasshoppers than there would be if I kept it short. So the ducks are able to get duck feed. They're able to get grass, what other kind of vegetation they may eat out of here, which you can see what they don't eat. But the other part is all the grasshoppers, all the bugs. They love it. And look here, it's baby ducks, y'all. Look at those beautiful babies. They are in here because if you turn these ducks loose before they're a certain age, the other ducks will attack them. So what we do is we teenage them here. We turn them loose into all this so that the ducks have now been around them as long as they've been out here, and they're not so jumpy when we turn them loose. Because if you try to just introduce some new ducks into your duck yard, you're going to see a whole lot of bullying, picking on, pecking orders being established. It's going to get crazy. But trying to do it every day is harder. So we learned that you take junk around your house, make a really quick pen, and let them grow up out here. And these are the ones we carry to trade days and sell and stuff. But we also, if we do have to end up keeping them, which my wife is going to keep 4 or 5 to replenish our stock, we have to remove some of our females because they're becoming of age to where my wife likes to change them out every 3 to 4 years. She don't want to keep the same ducks. So she does have some she likes, but you know, it's the egg production. Also, we don't want them to get so old you can't eat them, stuff like that. And yes, people, we do eat everything on our farm. Some people disagree with that, but that's life, y'all. My advice is if you see a bad end on your watermelon, just go ahead and pluck that watermelon, because that watermelon has something wrong with it. And it's extremely like a weird feeling. So I'm just gonna go ahead and toss it to the ducks. And there she goes, right in there with the ducks. And it busted open too, so that's even better. Don't get me wrong, I don't wanna waste watermelons, but watermelons should be pretty pristine and look good all the time. So if you see a flaw in one, my advice is to cut it. Even if you only have 5, one bad watermelon can ruin a vine. I don't like dealing with that. I want it to look normal all the time. That is a good looking watermelon patch to me. Watermelons everywhere. Watermelons here, 2 little bitty ones growing right here. I mean, they're beautiful. I love them. But this is really just an experiment. I could add fertilizer and it would get crazy. I'm just playing with Mother Nature to see if she'll help me out. And I have noticed some of them do shape differently without the right fertilizer or the right amount of water, but I'm still ending up with quite a good bit of watermelons that grow really good without any fertilization because they have plenty of the water, because I ran the ducks over this for a year before I put them on it. I actually have Stone Mountain watermelons growing over here. They're still tiny. They just started growing. They're about that big. It's really not worth showing it. And it's growing up real bad, so I got to do what I can do. And look at these garden huckleberries. Not all of them made it, but 1, 2, 3, 4 made it. And look, they're producing berries now. You want them to go shiny black, then dull black. This right here would be considered your dull. They do have a glare from the sun, but I can look at the sheen on them. They are not shiny at all. These are starting to grow. But y'all, they're going to be here. They're going to be here for, I don't think they'll ever go away. Now, some people have told me that garden variety huckleberries are invasive and whatever, but I don't care about all that. I don't even think I paid for these seeds that I got. Somebody might have sent them to me. I don't know, but I mean, if you boil them, you cook them down just right, it makes awesome jams and jellies and pie fillings and stuff like that. You just have to handle it properly. And everybody's like, oh, well, you have kids. Y'all, I have kids. I ain't worried about my kids coming down here. My kids never embarked this far on the farm. Not to mention, I have poke salad growing around here. They don't mess with those berries. They don't eat. Well, first off, they're never around something they shouldn't be around without supervision. Second off, I tell them what you should and shouldn't eat. And if I say don't eat that, it'll make you sick, they don't eat it. Now, my wife is growing martin gourds here. And y'all, like I said, Mother Nature takes over. What do you do with Mother Nature? Look at these beautiful martin gourds. There's one back there even. I mean, beautiful. We have them growing everywhere. And y'all, I'm not worried about snakes as much as some people are. We have snakes, but I just try to pay attention to my surroundings. Look at all these martin gourds. They don't care how weedy it is. They're just growing beautiful. They're growing real pretty necks on them. I mean, that's just unreal to me. Look at that thing. That is gorgeous. I love them. I think they are going to do me very well, because we have recently noticed a very large martin family living near our farm, and we'd like to offer them pretty homes that they can come and make families in and bring more martins in. So, you know, we'll pick these off the vine when they're ready. and let them cure. I may even put them in my Jeep because I don't really use my Jeep that much, and just let them cure inside the Jeep. But y'all, you can, if you have the time, make your gardens look beautiful and pretty. But sometimes, y'all, just keep it manageable where you can walk around it, where you can do things and keep up with everything. And when you get the time to get off work and start attacking stuff, you'll realize you're still staying ahead of the 8-ball. But if you just sit down and do nothing, you're going to lose 75% of your crop, if not all of it, or it'll be grown up so bad you don't even remember where you put it, how to find it. So keep it organized as you can, and don't beat yourself up when you work too much. I work a lot, and I'm new at my company, so I don't have a choice, but I enjoy my job. But we have okra growing here beside these Stone Mountain watermelons, but the okra didn't grow crazy this year like it used to. I'm not real sure why. We've done everything the same way as we've always done it, but our okra is just now getting about 1.5 feet tall, maybe. So could have been something I did. Well, actually it is. I bush hogged over our first okra plants on an accident, and I replanted, but there's still enough summertime left that we should be okay. We should be fine. But my good old fig trees, look at them. They're coming up. Got one over here too. Y'all, these figs, I'm proud of. I'm very proud of my fig trees. Extremely. There's another one. And I've got a Chicago fig around front. And I thought the Chicago fig was gonna die, but it ended up coming back. I need to make a video on it and show everybody that we're getting them. And look at here. First piece of okra. But I can't cut it off. I'm gonna take my knife and cut this. So it's not growing real big here. That's my okra plant. It was planted later, so I expect more. First piece of okra on that tiny plant. Y'all, if this thing can grow a little bit longer before the cold gets here, there's no telling what you'll get. I have another piece of okra here, and I was afraid that I ran over all of the crimson red okra that I had, but I didn't. And yes, okra tastes really good raw to me, but I've got some crimson red right here. But Mother Nature is winning the battle this year. But what she can't do, she can't keep up with me, because even though I work a lot, I will work harder to make sure I can get to my plants, because you don't get this big from not being a professional. But I hope y'all understand I'm doing what I can do, and I'm going to produce videos as much as I can to keep everything going. And that comfrey keeps going. I done picked it and planted it around other trees. I've got comfrey under this tree now. I mean, shoot. Before long, I'll take that comfrey and I'll put it in my garden. I want to have so many plants, I'm just dumping it in my garden and letting it decompose in there, because it acts as a really good natural fertilizer. So you just cut the leaves off and pile it around something. So you can also, you can also chop it up, about half a bucket of it, 3/4 of a bucket. Put just enough water to cover the plants. Put a lid on it, set it in the field for about, I don't know, 5-6 weeks. And man, you can fertilize with that water. It'll be amazing. They call it comfrey tea, but it's a sad day for these. These birds live protected, well fed and everything. These are my Coturnix quail. These are the ones that have to be harvested today. There's so many, plus I need this cage. So I'm gonna get to harvesting these birds. I do have bob whites right here. All the bob whites are over here. I just want y'all to know, I appreciate all the comments and all of y'all that watch my videos. Thank y'all so much. Here at Maniac Nation, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So until next time, we out.